Welcome to writingalong.com. Today's episode is all about, do you have an unfinished novel? And I don't just mean any kind of book, but I mean specifically a novel. This video is for you. If you have one that you started, I am willing to bet, not just because I've researched this, but because no, I've done it and I've been there before too, so I get it. Most likely it's sitting on your desktop right now, this little unopened in years Microsoft Word document, or it's a Google Doc just laying in your Google Drive, or depending on when you're watching this, I don't know what new stuff there is out there now to host your unfinished writing, but I'm sure it exists somewhere. Maybe you emailed it to yourself just so you wouldn't lose it, or it could just be scattered in different notebooks across your house. It could be in one notebook. Maybe your unfinished novel is one page or just one idea that you had and you kind of scrapped away. But it would have been sad to just throw away the idea. So you kept that at least written down somewhere. Maybe you don't even know where it's at, but you still remember it pretty vividly. And when you think back on it, it's kind of painful sometimes because you're like, wow, I could have wrote that. I could have really made that into something, but I just didn't have it in me. Luckily, I didn't really tell many people. Or maybe you did tell people. You're like, yeah, I'm writing a novel, and I want to. I'm shooting off here because this is the way the thinking happens. It's nonstop. To write a novel really does require you to not shut up. Otherwise, how would you get that many words on a page? How would you get exactly whatever your word count is, whatever you're shooting for? It requires you to use a lot of your own words. And at times when you're beginning, it feels easy to just launch off everything all at once. You think you have to do it immediately. You think writing a book is just going to be, oh, that's simple, cool. It's a cool idea I have. I really want to write a book. I want to write a novel. That would be something really cool to do. It's just a little hobby, just a little idea just floating through your head every now and then. And in your head, you think it's going to be that simple, and then you approach the page, and guess what? It's not. It requires a little more than you thought. And it's a little moment of humbling. And it's not new. I mean, it's like a running joke in the world at this point. Like, oh, I'm going to write a book. Oh, cool. Let me know when it's out. It's never out. They never wrote it. Doesn't exist. Never will exist. Not if they don't watch something like this, right? Which reminds them that it's possible. I don't just mean me. I just mean anybody who kind of reminds them at all about their novel and kind of tries to. I want to revive it. I don't want you to let it die, because really, if it really captured your mind, if it captivated yours, I'm willing to bet it'll capture and captivate millions of others. Thousands of others. It'll get an audience, is what I'm saying. People will care. Finding them is a whole other story. This isn't a market your book channel. This is a write your book channel, or podcast, website, everything. So maybe in the future I'll do some stuff on that. But right now I want you to focus on writing that novel. What was it about the idea that really even got you started? Let me know in the comments. What was your novel idea? If you're scared someone's going to steal it, I mean, okay, don't tell me. You must have something pretty groundbreaking. But if not, if you're willing to share, I would love to hear what were you going to write about, and ultimately what got in the way. Let me know, because I can go on. Maybe you related to some of the things I started this video with, but I mean, there's probably some unique circumstances and factors in your own life that will dictate why you did it. And if you're listening to the podcast, which there is a podcast, this recording, shoot me an email. You can find me on the site. I'm sure you'll find some way to contact me. And really, it's curiosity, because there's no real numbers on how many people start a novel. There's estimates. You can find some kind of study like how many people have thought about writing but never actually did. But you never really get a comprehensive look at what it is. But just talking to people, it's not something you ever could really quantify, because not everyone's really open to admitting, oh yeah, I started something but I didn't finish it. It's kind of embarrassing, and it can become a joke for yourself, like, oh yeah, I'm trying to write, but this happened and this happened. I'll write my book eventually. I want to write a book, blah blah blah. I'm halfway through it, and you're like, not even 2 pages in, that kind of stuff. It's fun to talk about. And why is it fun to talk about? Because no one else is, for the most part, really writing one. In terms of the world, like the scope, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, a lot of people have started them and not really finished them, or just thought about it, but very few people are actively engaged and really trying to get it done. And it's I think it's really just because of the discouraging, isolating nature of writing when you're starting. Um, you want to write a book, you put out a story, you show it to people, and what's the first thing people do? They lash out at it with critique. Or maybe they didn't. Maybe you have the absolute joy, luck, and amazing life where you received nothing but positive feedback, and you had a community you could reach out to that was there to support you and got you. I don't know if that exists right now, if that's a real thing, if that's a real place, or am I creating a story right now and just making this fictional world where everybody supports everything you do and believes in every dream you have. I don't know if that exists. I know as a writer when starting, I had nowhere to turn. I don't know if you had anywhere to turn. I had nowhere to turn but dead writers and the words they left behind. And guess what? Sometimes it's the words other people give. That people who have written books who can really share what it takes. And I make a habit not to really make this about me, so I don't want to talk about my own book. I want to talk about you and your novel. Why did you let it just kind of, lay there, sit around, when you were so excited about it? You were dreaming about what it would mean for you, what it would mean for your life. Or maybe you've already written a book and you have another one that you gave up on. That's a high quality problem. And I'm venturing to guess that most people haven't even finished one book. You might be a couple of pages away from finishing it, or you might be the whole book away. Maybe writing as a whole kind of took a different position in your life, which is okay. For some people, writing does exist as this thing. It's like it's a part of a season of your life, and it will always be linked to who you are because it's still a part of your life. But it doesn't really take the front row passenger seat with you anymore. It doesn't, in terms of being in your mind. It's not really there at the forefront. And that's okay if you gave up for that reason. But is it still something that kind of comes to mind now and then? Like, oh yeah, what about my book? I do want to write it. I just don't know how to. That's if this video is for you. That's if all of this content, these messages, whatever you want to call it, whatever this is for. This is for you. If that idea is still alive in you and you want to bring it to life. You're unfinished, but you can. It's not. There's no clever metaphor you could put on it. It's not like, oh, I'm going to put these electrodes on the, you see on all those doctor shows, right? Or in real hospitals too. I mean, that's testament to what media does to us. Associations are with what they create, not the actual thing. But in hospitals, they bring people to life with electricity, jolts of it. And I would love to say that's what it's like for your novel, but it's not really like that. Really, it's kind of just bringing back to mind why you got excited about it in the first place. I keep asking that throughout the video, throughout this thing, because I want you to remember it's still there. You didn't trash it. You didn't empty the bin in your brain. You can't exactly do that with ideas. The more powerful ones don't really die. They kind of stick with you your entire life, whether they become anything or not. They exist there, and they take up space. They don't pay a dime for it. They're just there. And sometimes you can't help but notice it. And that's what your book might be. Your novel might be. And I'm here to tell you, if you have an unfinished novel, go ahead and finish it. I'm just encouraging you. Get back to it and give it another try. Maybe you'll fall on your face again. Maybe it won't work again. But it's going to be really worth it. I want you to see that side. I want you to see what it's like to finish a book, to finish your novel. It's more amazing than really anything you could ever buy. It's like 10 times all those dreams, all those feelings you had that got you excited about it in the first place. When you finish it, it's like feeling that times 100. Like it's because it's something people don't do. It's something you're technically almost like not supposed to do. It's like you overcame some force or something when it's the first time you've written a book. It's like, wow, it was just an idea. Now it's real. It's in front of me. How did I? What is like? It's unreal, and it's something everyone can experience. And that's one reason why I think you should try it again, just to experience that once in your life. And also, you get a book for the rest of your life with your name on it, which is pretty cool. I having a book written does open certain doors in your life, again, because I'm saying it's kind of this not exclusive thing, because technically anyone can do it, but not everyone's going to do it, if you know what I mean. So everyone can admire and understand what it is, even if they don't even open your book. Just seeing it it gives you a certain element and freedom in your life, not just mentally, but I mean in your actual interactions and what goes on. You'll see certain things start working out for you. It won't even seem connected to the book, but it's more or less a reflection of yourself. If you were able to do that and accomplish that, what more can you accomplish in your life too? Writing, I mean, yes, it's a significant part of your life, especially if you make it so, but you also have other things that go on, and that matter, that also definitely do matter. And you'll see that it's all interconnected, it's all interrelated, and it's a reflection of what's going on up here. Just to finish something, don't worry if it sucks. Don't worry if you read it after and you're like, what the hell is this? Just finish your novel. You'll see what I mean when you get there. If you need any help, check out this guide I wrote on my website. It's completely free, How to Write a Book in 30 Days. 10-part guide. Let it haunt your inbox, like I've been saying lately. It'll be there, and it'll be there when you need it. Today. Why not today? Why not today? Answer me. Let me know in the comments. Or you don't have to comment. You can just start writing already. All right, I'll see you around, and thanks for tuning in. Don't let that writing dream die.